Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's cast of the Spy Party Competitive League here on Spy Party Fans. Joining me tonight is my co-caster, Noob, who I'm sure will be speaking in just a moment,
I can't
maybe.
hear you, Dell, so I'm gonna quickly try and auto-fix that. Be right back. That's why we do voice checks.
All right, we're off to a great start. So that was Noob. He might not have heard me, but I think you all heard him. You can confirm in chat if that is or is not the case. But at any rate, we're going to be covering two platinum matches here tonight. They were both played earlier today. They were played while the official cast was happening, so no one got a chance to see them as they were happening, and that's why we are bringing them to you now. And this is my co-caster, Noob.
I'm here. I'm working. Welcome, everybody, be it your afternoon, your evening, to the first unofficial official cast. Or is it the first official unofficial cast? I don't know. But we got two fantastic games. I also missed because I was also playing while they were finishing up.
Yeah, so we're going to get started here with OpiWrites versus Pofke. Let's just talk about both of these players a little bit. Let's talk about their history as they made it up here to Platinum Division. So OpiWrites played last season SCL5 for the first time. He did placements, which placed him all the way up in gold, which was the highest you could get with placements. And he came in second in the division with a really, really strong performance. And so he moved on up here to Platinum. Can you tell us a little bit about Pofke's journey through the SCL?
Yeah, so Pofke did play SCL4, which had a huge challenger pool. There was a huge challenger tournament at the end of that. Was one of the most successful players, though Dowsey definitely comes to mind as the most successful. Lazy Bear, notably also, and also in Platinum. Um, from there was then in Silver in SCL5. Also got runner-up to Dowsey, but destroyed the tournament of placement, winning the whole thing, including a win over Ryu, who's also in Platinum. He also, to note, has won the most recent, I want to say, Winter Cup? Definitely one of the cups.
Yeah, that was the
Uh,
Winter Cup. Beat Rio in
yeah,
the
so
finals.
Pofke's been about as hot as any player in SCL at this point.
Yeah, I mean, hot is basically the word that I would use to describe Platinum as a whole, and these two players are part of the reason why. They're both incredibly strong, and no one knows who's going to win when they come up against each other. Let's take a look at the draft here. So, starting off, we have Pofke choosing to ban Redwoods, which makes a lot of sense because Opie is one of the few people who actually likes Redwoods, and I think he definitely would have picked it if it were not banned. And then Opie has chosen to ban Gallery.
Yeah, Pofke's got a renowned gallery game.
Restrictions coming in, we have Ballroom restricted by Pofke, while Opie chooses to restrict Veranda.
I'm sure Pofke just wishes he has two bans, but you can't ban both of Opie's go-to maps. We're likely to still see Ballroom, I assume?
Yes, please ignore the fact that I entered the bans and restricts as doubled picks instead. That is not what they are. So the proper thing here is Redwoods banned by Pofke, Gallery banned by Opie, and then Pofke restricted Ballroom, and Opie restricted Veranda. And then we get to the picks here. First off, we have Pofke choosing to double Library, while Opie is going to be doubling Terrace.
Terra, fun map, and not one that we've seen this high up on a regular basis. Like, it's been more of a map that we saw in, like, Copper in Season 5. With the newer players with these 10,000 games like these two, Terrace is not as common.
Yeah, I'm surprised. We usually just saw it in, I mean, Iron last season in particular. It's just generally considered that at higher levels, the snipers would trade wins because they would just be able to catch everything the spy does. But it is 3 out of 6 now. There's more room to play, and maybe Opie has some strategies in mind. And we have the single picks here. From Pofke, we have Moderne, and from Opie, of course, we have Ballroom.
Yeah. Both our doubled maps are going to be something where the snipers are really going to want to win. Modern and Ballroom, less so. There's definitely opportunities for the spies to pull off wins, both mission wins and civilian shots. And as long as we get there, we'll see some fun maps here to end up the uh, the cast.
Yeah, I
Well,
wouldn't be
the segment.
surprised if we got there. These are very strong players. We might see a lot of sniper party here, a lot of trading wins back and forth. So let's get started here. We have the first game starting off on the doubled library, which Pofke chose. Our first spy is Pofke playing as Irish, and we're
Yep.
going to get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I was just looking at Irish there, holding her drink sideways, waiting for this game to start. It looks like we're going to be heat-seeking the seduction target. She does not go to conversation, goes to little pad, but Opie's not going to be particularly watching for flirt. He's got plenty of things to watch on library.
No, I mean, I remember the gold finals when Opie was up against Yeesh. He was super on the ball, knowing that Yeesh would heat seek the seduction target. But if that's not something that he thinks Pofke has a proclivity for doing, he might not be on the lookout for it here.
Okay, we have our 34%. It looks like we're chasing, but it's hard to chase when we're so much faster than our seduction target. Instead, we've just ended up at statues and likely a highlight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an okay move. If you're not being able to get the flirt done, you might as well go get progress somewhere. Pofke is definitely known to favor more soft tell heavy games. I wouldn't expect to see him do anything super exciting at the start. He's just going to slowly build up progress with these inspects, the seduce, maybe start getting some fingerprints, and he'll be looking for a really good opportunity to get a hard tell somewhere in the second half of the game, I think.
We
Um,
are low lit. So we didn't eat a highlight immediately for the inspect. And I think maybe the reason Pofke chose to do the inspect, other than he might have just been wanting to do the seduction target and kind of ended up at the statue, was Opie really doesn't like the meta of early inspect side statue. Just eat the highlight and then have to play with the highlight to get all your hard tells. That being said, I haven't seen Opie lowlight much in his games, and this is just an absolute reward. I think we're the only person who's low lit who's not the oh, there we go, there's a neutral light. Maybe it was an accident, honestly.
Maybe. I don't know what the accident could have come from. I mean, what I was going to say is against Opie, you can maybe lowlight people who go to statues early, because Opie doesn't do it, but he shouldn't think Pofke wouldn't. And there we go, Pofke going for the fingerprints, just like I predicted. It's a little bit behind the pillar, so maybe there's a slight chance it wasn't super noticed, but I'm assuming someone like Opie's probably able to count the missions here. Pofke going for a microfilm. The camera swings over right as the animation finishes, so Opie just misses it. Pofke gets away with it.
His timing could not have been worse on that. If he had done a white test, I think he was dead. So we're gonna counter blessings. We still need to do the other half of the microfilm, and we only have 2 minutes left. We've actually burnt a lot of time in this game.
Yeah, just 2 minutes here. It's gonna be hard to finish these missions. I mean, it just takes time to walk over to the statues. It takes time to find a fingerprint. It takes a lot of time to microfilm. And Pofke is thinking the same exact thing. Goes for a time ad here. Opie wasn't watching that half of the venue, and there's no reason for Irish to be a major suspect at this point, so he wasn't watching for it. Pofke gets away with it.
Ourselves a bit into this conversation. Not for any particular gain for the actual conversation. We could do a Perlin. We refuse to do that too. We could go for the flirt, but no. Section target's clearly going to be leaving.
It's a
Banana
pretty good
bread,
time.
perhaps? Like we're just running out of good options. Here comes a request. This will be a banana bread into purloin, almost assuredly.
Banana bread.
Yeah, I'm seeing 3 conversations with a decent number of people for this banana bread,
Banana
so
bread.
it's pretty good. But instead of getting the purloin, we accidentally banana breaded twice. That is always a huge signal to the sniper. They know if they hear 2 banana breads, the spy was trying to do 2 missions in a row, so they always will look at who had Toby behind them. So we aborted the purloin, but I think Opie absolutely noticed, and we pick up the highlight.
Yeah, Opie made some considerations there. I think took the lowlights before showing Pofke the highlight. This will be a shot, almost assuredly. Yeah, we're inside our selection target too. There's just a lot of things gone wrong here. and we only had 2 missions done. We had progress on 4 more, but that's a relatively early shot if you're looking at the spy side.
Yeah, I just think that double banana bread really gave Pofke away there. You know that it's a spy trying to purloin most of the time. Pofke maybe got a little bit tilted by it as well, because I'm surprised that he went for that bug. And yeah, Opie was just able to take the shot. So that's 1 point here for Opie to start. And we head into our next game. Here we have Opie spying as Teal, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Do you say teal, you do an incredibly slow countdown, are you trolling me? When
You've
OP plays, it's mom. That's a bug. I do not believe that was on camera, though I'm on spy side.
Um, yeah, that was a bug. The arms movement started way too late for it to have taken. And it looks like we're already highlit and we're splitting. As we split, we go for the same exact bug. We have the purloin pending. As we were doing that, it's now been taken. This is a lot of activity, but unfortunately, I think the fact that Pofke noticed us at the start means it's going to be hard to get away with it.
Yeah, so this map starts with 445 in SCL now. We've spent less than a minute and we have 4 missions. We could do inspects are right there, swap is right there. Fingerprints will take a lot of time, but we have 4 minutes to do them if we want to do that. Likewise with microfilm. And it doesn't look like Pofke is incredibly confident. He's not taking the lowlights that you necessarily expect. Oh, it shot immediately.
No, that's what I thought was going to happen. When you remember that we had already picked up a highlight here because Pofke suspected the bug, I think that just made it really easy for Pofke to remember, uh, yes, Teal was over there. Oh, is the highlight for the bug? It came a little bit later. It could have been for something else. But either way, Pofke just knew that Teal was over there, knew she could have purloined, knew she could have done a banana split. So, a little bit too obvious of a play.
Yeah, 10 lowlights here on library. The other idea is maybe Pofke just wasn't taking all the lowlights that he necessarily thought of because there was a lot of threat. If Obi decides to shuffle over to statue and swap it and run away sort of thing, while Pofke is doing lowlights, we could have seen one of the nastiest rushes I think would ever have been in SAL history. Unfortunately, it just falls a bit short.
All right, so that's the first point for Pofke, and we'll head into our next game here with Pofke playing as General in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We're a bit close to the ambassador start, but we do have a drink in hand, which makes it a bit more difficult. Seduction target, you want to stop here? Nope, gets turned around. We do end up standing next to Smallman.
Well, Smallman came to us. I don't think that would really look too much like a flirt pair. We take a very short stop at this window. We're just getting the flirt and leaving. That's something that could actually get you suspicion if it's noticed. It was a very quick window stay.
Yeah, the earlier in the game, the more chaos there is. You gotta watch the ambassador, the list, the early statues, and make sure there's no swap. So the first flirt's often free.
I
The
like that.
problem is, Opie is one player who has previously acknowledged that the first flirt is free and has made efforts to try and stop that.
Yeah, and so far we have just not landed anywhere else important. We've just been shuffling around, going from window pad to window pad. We enter with the seduction target. She bails before we can get another flirt, but there is still a double agent here. We might want to wait for an opportunity to contact, but I'm seeing a lot of sparse conversations, a lot of people out of conversation, so I don't think Pofke is going to go for it right away.
Yeah, since SCL 5, we have lost Bill Withers, I believe. Rest in peace, but there's no sunshine. You won't be able to do the flirt here either. She's holding a briefcase. We end up doing the time ad, and I feel like it's almost accidental. Thankfully, we hit the green.
Yeah, I think this is pretty noticeable though. Going to the window pad, checking your watch with Toby behind you, and then going for the briefcase really quickly. It all stands out a lot, I think, even though none of it is particularly egregious.
Yeah, I think Pofke might think better of it to try and get another flirt in. This just looks more suspicious. We were never going to get that flirt, but we're showing up near pearls again. We're also right next to the ambassador. Yeah, we got options. mainly because we just haven't done any missions. We have all 8 missions available.
Yeah, it looks like whatever plans Pofke was hoping for, none of them have really materialized here, so we've just kind of got nothing done. We're going back to this conversation with the double agent. Conversation's looking a lot more full. 2 suspected double agents in those other full conversations as well. Or, no, that's not true. The other suspected double agent is at statues, my bad. But it's still a pretty good time for a contact. Pofke's gonna go for it now. I think that's the right choice.
Ambassador might be coming nearby here with this contact too. Yeah, Pofke has the same idea I'm thinking of. He goes for the bug, eats a highlight. It's hard to say if that was a bug caught and it's Opie being patient, or if that is the banana split. Either way, not good for Pofke. Incredibly not good.
I think even if you didn't catch the animation of the bug, it's becoming an increasingly more common play at these higher levels for spies to try to get those walking bugs, so I think it was suspected even if the arm wasn't seen.
Trouble. So we're back to this spot where we have 2 minutes. We do have the contact this time, but I felt like we were in the same spot last time, and we ended up ending with 2 missions. We might even have less.
Oh,
That's really cute. Cute does not mean synonymous with good, but we're not dead. I think we'll take it for now.
yeah, I mean, like I said, that was the strategy that Pofke was going for. Opie does a lot of similar bugs as well, though, so I think that sort of thing is really going to be on Opie's radar.
Yeah, the nice thing here about that is for Opie is if we've already credited the bug for the previous bug, we don't have to shoot for that because it's already part of our count.
Yeah, that is true. Technically, it didn't make the situation any worse. Meanwhile, though, there's a minute 20 left on the clock, and aside from that bug, we don't have a lot of progress. So what I'm thinking is Opie probably suspects the bug, maybe both bug attempts, and that's just going to make it really hard to finish missions unless we do something really clever here.
Yeah, and the best way to finish missions quickly is to do 2 in a row. This is death.
This is a white purloin on screen. There's the
Eh.
shot.
Yeah, that's why I said death. White purloins in platinum, I bet you will work once or twice. And it's just these guys are so on it. They know their fades, especially if you're highlit. And getting this shot is not going to be one that OP's expecting to miss. Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, this bug, the timing is what makes it worse. You can't really see the arm of General too much, but the timing is just way too much of a coincidence. What are the chances that an AI would turn around there at the same time as the ambassador? Got 1 library game left. Opie is up 2-1 and is now going to be spying as Duke starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, we've had 2 more or less uneventful spy games there from Pofke. And we had an incredibly eventful game from Opie. It's going to be hard for him to replicate that, even if you desire to do every mission as quickly as possible. They just don't necessarily line up in a way that's congruent to that. Unless you try and hide behind pillars, at which point you can do whatever you want. It looks like Obi didn't get the position that he wanted and it isn't being punished for it.
No, I mean, I've never seen a spy attempt to go behind the pillar and then abort that quickly, so I think even if you see that as the sniper, you just assume it's some sort of weird redirect. And here's Opie going for the early statues, which we were just saying Opie hates to do. I wonder if there's any chance he's actually trying to lower his suspicion level by doing it because he knows that Pofke knows that he doesn't like to do it, or am I getting too deep into the Yomi here?
So I feel with Pofke's laser flying over that he did end up putting his laser on OP, and I think it might have actually just been a fake highlight. The other problem is if it wasn't a fake highlight, OP might think he's highlight anyways, just because it came on him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Opie is going to read too much into laser movement when he's gone to statues. You know that someone might highlight you for that anyway. I don't think it changes how Opie's going to play the rest of this. Unfortunately, we can't get too close to the seduction target, so we're only at 54% right now, but we have partial progress on multiple soft tells, over 3 minutes left. I think it's pretty good so far.
Ambassador could have come towards us, either the window or the conversation, but he doesn't. Opie's scouting for missions, and if nothing shows up, we might end up just taking a timer flirt here. I don't hate it, but we definitely won't be getting our 46. As far as I know, we might actually. This might just be like exactly 46.
Yeah, that would
It's always
be
hard to say
huge.
when there's someone between.
I know, I'm like looking at the circles trying to figure it out. We're gonna figure it out momentarily as soon as the flirt goes through. I'm hoping we hit a green because the clock has been ticking down. Ooh, there's the green, 97%. That's unfortunate. I'm starting to get a bit worried about our mission progress here.
Yeah, Ambassador is not going to any of the things. You can see Opie's frustration. If we want Ambassador to go to one of the statues, we would take it if Ambassador went to one of the bookcases. Him hanging out at the bust does nothing for us. Us hanging out here does nothing for us. And Rage Purloin. Don't hate the idea, but a white test in Platinum?
Yeah, this is absolutely going to get a shot, and it happened at just the classic purloin spot. Spies love to purloin here when they're behind this pillar or near the pillar and Toby is behind it. We did the fake banana bread to cover for it, but we did have an SDA with us, so we are still going to be credited for that. It doesn't look like Pofke's dead certain. You know, he's still watching the ambassador over on the other side. He's keeping his options open, but I'm pretty sure that he knows that Duke is the biggest suspect for this purloin.
Okay, we sip and then gulp. We don't do all three sips. And I think that's right. We need to move. That's not a bug. And I'm concerned about our mission completion. We can definitely do it. We saw Obi complete 4 missions in 30 seconds last game. And we have more than 30 seconds this game. We still got 75 left. We're going to need a print convenient, and we're just not getting that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the basic plan here would be, well, I was hoping get the fingerprint before you go back to statues, then you could finish with an inspect swap.
Oh,
Oh,
this
there's a
is a print.
fingerprint on this statue. Here it is. This is the inspect swap finish. If Pofke was onto the purloin at all, even thinks Duke could have done it, you have to shoot here. But Pofke's not taking the shot. Um, and I'm actually surprised. If Duke had gotten a bug at any point, that would have been a win. And can Pofke really be certain that Duke didn't get that bug when we passed by the ambassador earlier?
Yes, I think you can, but we're in a spot where we didn't need to take the swap, and taking the swap would have gotten us killed. We have bug or swap as a last ditch effort, but we'd much prefer, I think, just the contact. We aren't even highlight?
We're not
No, we are
highlit.
highlight.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
aren't
not even
we?
highlight. No, we're not.
What? Well, 8 seconds left. We're just talking
It's
here. We want to get this bug,
bug!
hopefully,
Bug!
but
It's all on
unfortunately, the
screen!
arm comes out, and that means we are going to take the shot in the end.
Yeah, with a bit more DA luck late, I think we had the win in hand. We don't get that opportunity. We don't do something like take a book. If we'd gone from like the statues to a bookcase, we could have had that as an option. In addition to having the bug as an option, we're forced to take the bug. And not a terrible bug, but unfortunately the arm does stick out and the bugging arm is towards the camera.
Yeah, I do have to wonder if Pofke knew about that purloin. I mean, do you think it was the right call for Pofke to hold the shot when Duke was at center statues there?
Uh, so for me, no. I take that shot almost all the time. For Pofke, I think him and his style of play needs to be confident. If he's missing bugs, Pofke's losing games. The nice thing is Pofke doesn't lose games because he doesn't miss bugs.
I was just surprised that he didn't take the shot there, but he may have just had the correct hold of the game. So we'll be moving on now. We have Terrace as the next doubled pick. This is what Opie chose. We have the first game here with Opie playing as Orange Sari starting in.
Oh, I'm still loading
Oh,
up. Hold up.
well, this is why I do slow countdowns sometimes.
Yeah, now you're good. Let's go.
Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I suspect my computer might not be the best computer. Did also have some sliding and made Magician do 60 frames per second today.
So taking a look at the mission setup here, we have swap off. This is absolutely going to be the most common setup that we see people using. Ambassador in a relatively buggable position. I like this leave of conversation. We kind of cut through a little bit, and I don't see any reason for that to have been an accident. Do you think Pofke did that on purpose?
Yeah, I'm gonna be hypercritical of these guys just because we're talking about Platinum. There were three issues there. One is that cut across does not make any sense. Two, we could have gotten a bug or a wrong arm bug, and you can't necessarily be 100% confident because Orange Dress's bugs are insane. And three, the path right at the bar was also just incorrect. So there's a lot I didn't like about that, and we didn't get any mission progress for it, which means we've just eaten a highlight.
Yeah, is it possible the highlight was just highlighting all of the bar visitors?
And the end of red.
Potentially. I mean, we have a lot of highlights currently. The banana bread does come off. It is fake. I would not mind a low light on wheels. I don't think Pofke in his right mind splits on a BB fake green. Like, it just, that sounds insane for a reasonable spy to do.
No, and
Hey, we got the neutral light. No, we don't.
wow, that was some interesting low light activity there. I think it's because the purloin just went off as that was happening. I think we were bringing down the bar lights to neutral, and then we realized, oh wait, no, the purloin went off. So we brought Pofke back up here. This is another fake. We've not been with the double agent both of these times. OP can definitely be noticing that, but I don't know if it makes him think, oh, it's not sorry. He might just think, that's fine. I still have this narrowed down to 3 people. As soon as she does get real, I still might shoot her, you know?
Yeah, there's a couple problems. We haven't hit the green, especially on the second one. It was just front camera, and there's just a lot of lowlights already, so that we didn't. This one we do hit the green, and Queen is talking, but there's just no DA in there. There's no DA anywhere. Yeah, now we hit it, and we didn't even like zoom out to confirm the DAs in the conversation. We're just done with it, and especially if you're counting purloin contact and either bug or flirt, uh, we potentially have 4 missions that we're trying to do in Opie's mind.
Yeah, and I think that early path could have just been a problem. If we take a look at it here, I think the justification may have been that Wheels was pathing around Teal's other side at the time we started moving. That could justify it. Let's take a look at this path here from the sniper point of view. Yeah, it just looks very suspicious. It looks like you wanted to bug, I think. So that just made sure that Orange Sorry was going to stick out in Opie's mind the whole time.
Yeah, this is one of those paths I would call like very aggressive idling, where the idea is if someone sees this, they are either obliged to feel like they need to highlight you or lowlight you. You're either very suspicious or you're doing the weirdest thing that you could possibly do at the moment. And in this case, it was just the weirdest thing the spy could do because it's also near the ambassador.
All right, we're heading into the next game here. We have Opie playing as Smallman, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So when we get a Smallman game, we get to talk about the 2 best things about Smallman, and one is that he is small, and the second is he is a man who is very good at doing timeouts. And the problem here is Terrace is an absolutely terrible time ad map, and being small doesn't really have a particular benefit.
No, we did position ourselves here to get a reverse drive-by bug from the ambassador, but we didn't take it.
Yeah, I suspect the ambassador came by really quickly. Like, we would have had to have been doing the bug as soon as they leave the statue pad. Opie probably wanted to, but ambassador just a bit too quick on the trigger.
Well, here's the ambassador heading on over to the bar, leaving some fingerprints. Our seduction target is returning that briefcase and immediately going to the bar to get the print that the ambassador's leaving there. So that's going to be a huge, huge suspect. Opie is seeing this. There's the bug attempt. Unfortunately, it doesn't take. Instead of doing it as a reverse drive-by, we started walking as we did it. The timing didn't pan out.
Yeah, so when you do that from a standing bug to a walking bug, it's if you're doing the walking bug by the point where you're halfway done with the bug. It's where you are, and we walked away from where the ambassador was going, so we didn't have a chance. OP doing nods, I bet you, because it's 69%, that's a nice amount. We can finish flirt with any 31%, which is just a close flirt.
Yep, and here we have the double
Banana
agent in our
bread.
conversation. We're going for the banana bread. Of course, Boots, the seduction target with 2 fingerprints, is also in this conversation. She has real banana bread now. She has 2 fingerprints. And if you ever suspect that Boots has flirted, you might want to shoot her. She even takes that bug path. She's standing right next to the ambassador, too. Pofke's going to have to be really, really on top of this. But here's the thing, even if Pofke can be certain that Boots didn't just bug, he's having to expend so much energy watching her that he's not watching us. Never mind, Pofke's on top of this. Pofke knows the flirt pairing and shoots for it.
Yeah, Boots doing the double print strategy. It's one of those things where a spy could be doing that gambit, but it feels like incredibly threatening and not actually that suspicious. Like I don't think I remember a spy doing that to me in recent memory. Small Man, however, is Small Man, and it's 3 missions. We definitely finished flirt. We could easily be paired, contact obviously, and then we did attempt a bug. So shot makes total sense from Pofke's side, and when a shot makes sense, Pofke's likely to be taking it.
Yep. And so far, has it been Sniper Party every single game? I believe it has.
I believe so. We've really only had one game that's felt particularly close, and it was the Rush game.
Yeah.
Every other time, it's just been snipers, lasering, spies. It's like they can just see the green arrow.
Here we have Pofke playing as Boots, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
This does feel like he's just mad that Boots did double prints and he wants revenge.
Yeah, Pofke starts off trying to follow the seduction target, doesn't pan out. We head on over to the window here. There are a lot of people starting off at statues. It is possible that one of them will finish later, and we decide to join them. I think that makes sense as a strategy with so many people starting inspects, and especially knowing that the sniper isn't going to be highlighting for it. It just helps you blend in with them even more.
Yeah. Other than the DA, everybody but Orange Dress, who happens to be a female, has one inspect. Irish is going to statues, but I believe that's the one that she was just at,
Yeah, I think so as well.
or that grouping at least.
Still not able to get any flirts. The seduction target has been on the move the entire time, going from window pad to window pad. We can't join him here. He could leave at any moment. Hopefully he comes to us. And what the heck was that?
That was someone trying to do contact and failing.
That was action priorities, because you would never try to bug the ambassador from that far away. Oh my god, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I saw the spy light up in red before I realized that the bug had even finished. One thing that you could do, I guess, if Irish pushes out the ambassador might move that direction, but that would have been way too soon. And we can just confirm, either Opie or Pofke in chat, that that was just a mistake.
I don't even think we need to ask them for confirmation. Well, let's just move on. Opie playing as Irish here, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Opie choosing the character that he might be mad at, because Irish went straight up next to the ambassador. Nice wrong arm. I suspect we're going to eat the highlight, unless the highlight's used for... Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
You don't get to have anything for free here, it's platinum.
exactly. That's the sort of bug that if you did in one of the lower divisions, you might just get away with it. They would never be able to shoot you. But here, you just pick up a highlight, and I think it means Pofke's going to be watching Opie the whole time. I think it's actually going to be really, really hard for Opie to win here.
Yeah, one option that Opie has is not doing banana bread. Now, this isn't an option that Opie's likely to do unless he believes that he is a uncertain highlight. But if you just go in and talk 3 times next to your selection target and contact, I struggle to believe that Pofke will not shoot you.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Opie knows as well. That's why he is explicitly not flirting. He is staying in this conversation as far away from Duke as possible. And I think he also needs to not banana bread right now. You will have another opportunity in the next 2 minutes, so you shouldn't do it now. It would basically just confirm that you're the spy.
There's two other things that could be going on. Opie could just not know that he's been highlit for the bug and thinks that doing anything here is on the table. Just you don't know about the bug, so I can win. The other reality is it's Terrace, and a lot of people have been grabbing statues. A lot of people have been going to the bar and potentially getting things like prints and whatnot. If you play a slower game, you might just get a civilian shot for nothing that you've done on your own.
We're moving over the seduction target now. I really like the timing of this. There are 2 minutes left, so if we hit green flirts, which we didn't, we just got a white, but even with a white, we could still finish this flirt in 2 minutes. So I think we waited just long enough to make it really obvious that we're not flirting, and now we're hoping that enough time has passed that we can get started on it and still finish it before the clock runs
Banana
out.
bread.
This is a fake. It's green. We got the best of every world. Pofke's memory is pretty good. We're not necessarily gonna cop a low light just on him forgetting about the bug, but this is a good start.
Yeah, and there are a few other people who had possible bugs. I think Duke, after that banana bread, he curved around the ambassador. Didn't pick up a highlight for it, though, while Opie has held onto his the entire time. Shows me that Pofke's pretty on top of the bug situation. We're getting another flirt here at the bar. I think that's really good. It's basically a way to get a flirt without necessarily looking like you're flirting. If we can get one more, I don't want to enter right next to red dress. I want to enter far enough away, and I want to hope for a green. And I think that's what Opie's hoping for. He knows that entering next to her and just going for the white flirt would likely get him shot. So he's being very respectful of
Banana
Pofke
bread.
for good reason. There's the
Oh,
banana
that,
bread, but we're talking during
nice.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the play there was we did the flirt and then do the banana bread as a green within the flirt, and it's actually really early in the talk. Pofke just doesn't really care though and takes the shot immediately. I do really like the idea. It's kind of similar to like the sit BB that's been discussed a fair bit, just hiding the banana bread inside of a
Banana
flirt.
bread.
Yeah, but the banana bread basically came at like 3 or 4 seconds into the talk, which is I think when it would just come normally. Let's just go back and take a look at what this bug looked like here from the sniper view at the start. I think a little bit of the arm was visible coming back from behind the ambassador. And either way, it's just one of those bugs that is such a good bug that the sniper knows it's a good bug and they will highlight you for it even if they didn't see the arm because they know that that's the kind of bug you're going to be doing at this level.
Yeah, I mean, if Irish, like, an AI can do that situation and get shot, but I think as a sniper, you're not particularly mad about it. Like, you're gonna be grumpy that AIs are finishing in your face, but it's it's a spy thing to do, and I think the shot should be taken basically every time.
Yep.
Okay, we get to do some fun maps. We can actually have some spy wins because these guys are not giving us the chance otherwise. Modern to start, and I'm looking at some twin.
That is correct. We have Plane Twin here starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Well,
That's not to discredit the bug, by the way. The bug in that last game was actually really sick and will win most people most games. But this isn't most people, and this isn't most games.
exactly. So Opie was previously known for having a dominant sniper on Modern. He had, I think, 100% win rate as sniper in SCL, though he did finally lose a Modern sniper game in the Summer Cup last year. But Modern has now gone down to 4 of 8, so we're going to see if Opie's still able to snipe it as well, with the spy having to do one less mission.
Pofke's absolutely trolling, by the way. He's just done early inspects almost every game. This fingerprint's really nice in the briefcase. We decided not to deliver it, but the reason it's really nice is we also know there's a print statue available in the future, and if that can stay unblemished for a couple minutes, Pofke has just an easy winning line. Just take the print statue, do those 2 missions, say flirt out here in the middle of nowhere, and contact, and you might win this game.
Yeah, while we were chasing the seduction target, we were hoping she would end up in that conversation where Rocker, the SDA, is right now, but instead she just went all the way there. We get the 51% flirt, which is a good return on our investment of walking all the way to the edge of the map.
better word for it, Screw. Unblemished seems like a fantastic word for a fingerprint that hasn't been blemished.
And here we are entering conversation with the double agent. I think Pofke is giving us a really good lesson about pacing on Modern. There's
And the end of
230
red.
left, which seems
Oof.
like a lot, but you don't want to wait too long for the contact. There we have Pofke taking it. A handful of lowlights available, but 3 conversations looking relatively full, all with SDAs in them.
Yeah, I believe our statue is still good to go. We've hit 2 greens. Another green flirt will put even more pressure on to Opie. But Pofke's being patient about it, and I think he has the ability to. As long as that statue's still even a difficult print, Pofke has a way to win the game. Bye-bye seduction target. We have one thing going wrong with the game, and it's our seduction target decides to take incredibly long paths.
Yeah, we could have kept following her there, but it would have meant doing a really weird curve that made no sense. So we're just going to wait here in the conversation, but we are absolutely going to go join her now.
We're trying to get close enough for the 49%. This might actually do it. You can look in the top left as a spy and see if it's going to be enough. And Pofke does exactly that. Pofke hits his 3rd green, and this print's been there for 2.5 minutes at this point. We could even wait another minute if we're willing to just take a difficult print if an AI decides to try and screw us.
Whew.
Queen does not go there. Yeah, Queen scares us though. This is Queen scared me, and I need to finish this game now before someone else ruins it. We
Yep.
eat a highlight for the second inspect. 2 cycle might be death. The laser
Wow.
comes. Oh, goodness, this shooting is absolutely on fire. That's
Opie is
just one of
so
the
good.
that's one of the cleanest games you could possibly have in Modern. And OP just doesn't care.
That,
OP's just like, you've done 4 missions,
yeah.
and a better sniper might even know, hey, you would have to have done 2 flirts. No, I mean, OP might even know that. He doesn't even care. Ugh, gross.
He just takes the shot. It doesn't even look like he's taking
Ugh.
too long to consider it. And that print was there for ages. And also, there was a lot of activity going on at the start. There were a lot of things to keep track of, and he was just super, super on top of it. That was a great Softail game from Pofke as well. Wow. Here we have Opie playing as Bling Twin now, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pofke, uh, like that spot, is if Pofke goes to do inspects any later than that, it just looks like someone trying to finish with inspects, and you often just get shot for doing your second inspect. In that case, like doing the fingerprint and inspect, I just think that was actually the correct timing too.
And
We
so
got
Opie,
highlights for bar.
yeah, highlights for bar. No highlight for the green time ad that we did out front. Pofke seems to have missed it. Very short stay over there as we immediately rush into this red bookcase. I can't imagine Opie is dying to microfilm, so I kind of wonder what the plan is, but we're going to be taking the book out, rejoining the seduction target here for another flirt. Hopefully we get a green so we don't have to worry about it. But even if we get a white, we have so much time. Nope, flirt's done, and you still have 4 minutes. I don't think pacing is going to be an issue this game.
And I really actually like the book visit because we can just put this back. We look particularly unsuspicious. It's the same kind of thing when you go to a bar and reject a drink. Like, you're just not doing anything. But the book's even safer because people do weird delegate tricks, and you get a highlight if you go to the bar often. Like, mom's not taking a drink here; she's absolutely being shenanigans around the ambassador. But are we returning the book right now? Because somebody's already there. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's
Okay.
interesting. We turned around. What we were going for there is we were aiming to get to the bookcase, but because Red Dress pathed over the spot that we were aiming for, it causes a redirect. It looks very, very AI-like, but Pofke's not rewarding it with a low light right now.
Yeah, Pofke doesn't low light for too many AI. I thought he did more when I first did, but he ends up just being very precise and not taking too many risky plays either here nor there, highlights or lowlights. We do have a laser on us while we're just returning a red book. bit quicker than I like, but it's fine. We have one mission, we got plenty of time because of the time ad, and we're heat seeking this double agent.
Yep, I mean, the conversations are looking relatively full. This would be an okay time for a contact. We might want to wait a little bit longer for a few more people to enter.
Yeah, it's harder to tell as a caster who's particularly suspicious because the highlights are seemingly just for who's doing the purloins or the drink takes or bar visits. The reality is though OP shouldn't be on that list. OP just hasn't done anything, including the banana bread right now. Here we go.
Yep, there's the banana bread. I don't think this is the ideal banana
bread.
bread that Opie wanted. There's a handful of people out of conversation. Each of the conversation circles are mildly full, but not very full. It's not great. I think none of this is really working out how Opie wanted. We take that bug. That path is insanely suspicious. Oh no.
Pofke says 9 or whatever no is
Banana
in
bread.
Lithuanian.
Yeah, I think just nothing was coming together for Opie. We gave ourselves a time ad. We were looking for a really good option to go for, and it just never really panned out. So I think Opie went for something that he knew was a substandard bug, just hoping that it would work because he didn't feel like he'd be able to get anything better.
Yep. I'm not sure what the fourth mission was going to be. We're heading towards the bar. I think we're in trouble either way. And we're all snipes
Banana
still.
bread.
We need to get one in ballroom, I would say, is OP's favor.
Certainly is. Ballroom is Opie's favorite venue. He's known for being an expert at it. He won the ballroom tournament. He did a 3-hour masterclass on ballroom bugging. So there's a reason Pofke restricted it, and there's a reason that Opie picked it and definitely wants to end on it. It's possible that he could pull out a spy win here. He does get very, very good bugs. But he's going to be sniping first. Pofke playing as Sick, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Bug, 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 bug. Does not bug.
It's hard for them to bug. We have the benefit of looking at that paused screen for a long time at the start, but they just jump right in. So very hard to take control and bug that quickly. But Chaos bugs are strong.
One good way to win games is hit green test. It hasn't done much for Pofke, especially in that last Modern game, but we'll take the 51 to start. And where are we off to next? Nowhere.
Yeah, just this conversation. Not much happening here. It does give us a good possible spot for a bug if the ambassador walks by behind us. Spies do like to hang out here, but the ambassador isn't even being crowded out, so I just don't see a reason to wait here too long. You're just ticking down the clock at this point.
An interesting thing, just to note, Smallman is the DA, and that's pretty uncommon. Often you'll see a Smallman SDA just because the game randomly chooses the SDA. In this case, Smallman just can't be the spy, and we might see something important in the future if they assume too much.
Yeah, here's Pofke being respectful with the flirt. We're not entering super close, but we get it up to 82%. Means we'll be able to finish the flirt pretty easily at any other point. The ambassador is coming near us, but it wasn't close enough to get any sort of bug, and we certainly couldn't curve around and bug the ambassador now. I am looking at the double agents conversation, though. It is very full. This conversation is quite full as well. We might want to shift over and go for it. Instead, it's going to be a white purloin. I don't like this, but Opie is changing the camera to check the ambassador for bugs on the other side, so actually misses the moment of the purloin. Still hasn't looked at the guest list, trying to get a look at it now, and he is able to see it, but he doesn't know who took it. All he's able to do is assign some suspicion to Teal in this conversation, but he doesn't assign suspicion to Pofke.
Yeah, if Pofke can just gulp this, he didn't do it immediately, but I think if we just gulp this drink before we eat a random highlight for holding a drink, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I think what happened there is Pofke took advantage of the
Love
fact
it.
that this venue is centered around the bug. He knew that Opie was going to be watching the ambassador there on the other side. He knew that Opie was going to move the camera around, and that's why he chose that moment to go for the purloin. And even though it's a white, he got away with it. Fantastic.
Okay, context ready. It's just 2 conversations that have anybody in them,
Banana
but they
bread.
are very full conversations. Banana Bread said it's another green for Pofke. He's just been on fire with his action tests. Shot could come off here. Purloin and Banana Bread's just a lot of pressure, but these guys have been incredibly patient. Here comes the highlight for Seek. We got 28 seconds. We need to do something. I would appreciate if it's not a desperation bug.
Yeah, it's fantastic that Opie's been able to hold his shot so far. Normally, if there's a purloin and you don't know who did it and there's a banana bread,
Nice
you
wrong arm,
shoot.
but
Ooh, yeah,
doesn't
tried for
stick.
that wrong arm. The path, though, just that path is enough for Opie to shoot someone because he knew that that conversation that Sick was in was the only one with real BB. Let me scroll back and take a look at it here. The SDA is over here by the windows, so it's just really easy for Pofke to just take highlights on the
Banana
only
bread.
2 people in this conversation who were still neutral lit. That's Sorry and Sick. I think if there had been an SDA in that other conversation with Rocker and Teal, we very well could have seen a miss shot because Teal was the person who got highlit after the purloin, but that SDA was out, and then let's just take a look at what this bug path looked like as Opie crossed there. Couldn't see the arm, but suspected it. There we go.
There just also wasn't very many statue visitors. Beyond like BB Purloin's so powerful because it's a great way to finish missions. You've already done 2, and it also ends up with civilians getting shot. But if nobody completes prints or nobody completes inspects, especially with a middle statue on ballroom, there's no reason to shoot. You can be as patient and you can wait for the bug path. Pofke didn't hit the bug, which I'm not sure if that's going to make him lose more sleep or less. But we're on to Opie on his favorite map, Game 12, to try and win this set in a set that's had 11 sniper wins.
Well, here we go. Playing as Teal in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Okay, let's see. What's the plan here? Quick flirt would be typical and good. 51% too, because these guys have just been hitting more and more greens as the set's gone on.
Yep, I mean, it's just good to have that green flirt done. I think sometimes when you just start getting into SpyParty, you think, oh, a green flirt isn't as strong as other green tests. You know, all it does is fill the bar a little more. But don't underestimate how much power that flirt has. Look at this, 2 green flirts, 3 minutes left on the clock. It frees you up because for the rest of the game, you don't ever have to worry about returning to your seduction target. You have these 3 minutes to pick the perfect spots for your hardtail. It's a huge advantage, especially for Opie, who is going to be looking for the perfect bug.
You used hardtail in a singular. We did see one of the big benefits of hitting 2 greens really quickly on library is also you can just finish your rush really quickly. The problem with Opie's rush here is he has a book in hand and he really doesn't want to do just a regular microfilm against Pofke.
Yeah, and this is the second time that we've seen Opie go for an innocent book return. I wonder if he's trying to lower his suspicion level. Maybe he thinks Pofke could lowlight people for correctly returning books. But either way, it doesn't seem to have gotten him anything so far. Here is a purloin. This is a green. In the back here, Toby's a little bit covered, but I'm pretty sure that we could see that he was offering to Teal. So it's going to be on Pofke to know
Banana bread.
about this reject. We're distracting Pofke even more
Well,
with a
that's really
contact
pretty.
now, and this highlight twin is taking the list right after the banana bread.
This could be a shot on Twin quite easily. He was talking during our banana bread. We had a bit of a gap there because we got a bit lucky the SDA didn't take. He then takes the list. That's
Oh,
not any of the people.
that's a shot on
We were
Pearls.
taking Pearls and the Spy. And that means Opie wins this game.
Yeah,
And the
Opie
set.
wins the set. It was Sniper Party all the way through, and then right at the end on Ballroom, Opie was able to get the win. And here's why. It looks like Pearls could have been the person who was rejecting Toby there. From this angle, you can't tell that Pearls has a drink in her hand, and even when she walks away, I think Pofke stops looking at her, doesn't realize she's not the one who was
And
offered
in the red.
to.
Yeah, so unless there's like some absolute shenanigans going on, anybody who's holding a drink during after a green purloin can't not be the spy. So we know obviously Twin could have been the spy. We weren't holding a drink and we did a reject. Pearls is holding a drink, but it's game 12. You've just been having some absolutely grueling games. I don't hate that Pofke takes a shot. It's just really unfortunate that it's right here and not a brilliant start to his season. I think Pofke's a big favorite, and Obi's going to be absolutely ecstatic with this win.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, just looking at the rest of the games, this could have very easily ended in a tie. So being able to clutch out the win here at the last moment is fantastic. Doesn't say anything about Pofke at all. If you're anyone else in Platinum, you're watching both of these players and you're terrified. But in particular, I would be terrified of Opie after seeing him able to take the shot for the Softel game on Modern, with that print being left there for like 3 minutes. I'm still majorly impressed by that.
Yeah, Opie did note in chat that on the Modern game, because he didn't return the briefcase, it would have been across the whole map. I don't blame Pofke for not choosing to. He did get a lot more suspicion and obviously was very cognizant of the print itself.